Today, I want to talk to you about staying focused. You know that square on your camera app? The one that determines the camera's focus? If you don't, open your camera app and you should be able to click somewhere on the screen and a square will appear and tell your camera what to focus on. If that doesn't work, try squinting really hard while looking out into the distance at some sort of object, something far away from you. Then open your eyes really wide. You go from focusing on that one thing to seeing everything around you. The same thing is true with your camera. It can either focus on one thing really well or a lot of things kind of well. Focus is really important. A good photographer, like Nicole, makes a career off of their ability to focus just right. Have you ever seen a big fancy camera focus? You twist the lens back and forth to get the right zoom in and out. Then you twist this little separate ring to focus on the subject of the picture and take a crystal clear shot. Not of everything, but of exactly what you want to see. I can't help but think that we're a lot like cameras. We need to stay focused or we lose our clarity. It's hard to stay focused though. Just like it takes a photographer years of practice to know how to focus just right in every scenario, every lighting, every time of day, all of it changes how they focus, it takes us a lifetime of practice to stay focused on God. Take a second and hear me say that again. It takes a lifetime of practice. No, discipline to stay focused on Jesus. Discipline is fought for. It's hard work. It's something that doesn't just come naturally. Like that photographer learning how to focus in the right light, in the right color, in the right time of day, and even in the right season of the year to get that complex camera to focus on the right thing. The Bible talks a lot about focus too. One of the best practical examples of this is found in Matthew 14:22 through 33. In this passage, one of the guys that followed Jesus around, Peter, sees Jesus walking on water towards the boat that he and the other disciples were in. What does Peter do? He says, Jesus, I want to walk towards you. Jesus says, get out of the boat. So he gets out of the boat and he starts walking towards Jesus. Pause for just a second. I trust Jesus, but the discipline to have faith, to step out of a boat and onto water, which we're going to learn in a minute, was windy and wavy, means plenty of discipline on Peter's part. The conditions weren't ideal, but Peter, he does it. He jumps out and he starts walking on water. Until, in verse 30, it says that Peter looks around him and realizes that he's walking on the water, but also that the waves around him and the wind is fierce, and he becomes afraid. Do you know what happens next? Peter sank. What Peter went through physically is what we often experience spiritually. Let me translate. While Peter took his eyes literally off Jesus and began to sink into the water, we often spiritually, mentally, emotionally take our eyes off of Jesus, and we begin to sink too. I don't know if you've ever been in a wave pool, but even if you're a good swimmer, too long in wavy conditions and you're likely to drown. But here's the hardest part. Our reason or excuse for taking our eyes off of Jesus often sounds like a good reason or a good excuse, but the result is always the same. We start drowning. Peter had a good reason from a human perspective to take his eyes off of Jesus. The waves looked scary. We have good reasons too, like I'm too busy, or that person really hurt me, or I've been hurt by someone at my church, or I just don't know if I can move past this loss or this betrayal, or maybe the death of a loved one or something difficult that we've been through that just wasn't fair, because life is difficult and it's not fair. I could go on and on with the list of distractions. I might not have named what your distractions are, but there are many things that pull us away from keeping our eyes on Jesus. But the result is always the same. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Well, I don't know how to overcome it. Well, I just keep stumbling again and again, so I just want to give up. You might just be drowning. Maybe you already know you're drowning, or maybe you've convinced yourself that you're fine, or that at least you're treading water. But when we take our eyes off of Jesus, there's only one way out. In Matthew 14:31, it tells us that Jesus came to Peter, reached out to him, and took him by the hand, pulling him back up. Just like Peter, Jesus offers you a hand up and a way out. First, you might not notice in our passage that Jesus doesn't teleport Peter to the boat. They walk back to the boat together. In other words, Jesus will give you hope, but he won't always remove the chaos around you. Peter was still in the waves, and you might still have a lot going on in your life, those proverbial waves. But just like Peter, if you're focused on Jesus, not the waves, you won't drown. Well, gee, thanks for the hope, you might be thinking. But really think about that. Imagine being in a circumstance where everyone around you is saying, it's hopeless, just give up, we're all doomed. And you have the peace of knowing that no matter how hard things get, you won't drown. Imagine facing something that you can't overcome on your own and being able to say, it's okay, even though I'm scared right now, even though this seems impossible, I won't drown because my eyes are fixed on my Savior. I want to read for you one more passage. Proverbs 4, starting with verse 25, says this: Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Don't get sidetracked. Keep your feet from following evil. This is my challenge to you, that this week, whenever you're facing something difficult, you place your trust and your hope not in your ability to overcome it. Because here's the thing, that's exactly how Peter started drowning. He knew he couldn't overcome the waves, and he took his eyes off of the one who brought him that far in the first place. Here's my challenge to you. I'm going to read one more passage, Proverbs 4, 25 through 27. It says this: Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Don't get sidetracked. Keep your feet from following evil. I don't know what you're going through this week, but I know that we all have difficult things that we face. So whatever difficult thing that's in your way or consuming your time or your thoughts or your energy, I want you to set it aside and remember this passage. Look straight ahead. Now, what's straight ahead? Jesus. Don't be like Peter. And if you are like Peter, here's the good news. Jesus is waiting to pull you back up. But don't be like Peter and take your eyes off of Jesus and focus instead on the impossible circumstances around you. Because that's the truth about life. The things around you that happen, they can't be controlled by you. You can't change someone's heart. You can't change someone's mind. You can't make someone seek forgiveness. You can't make a tragic life thing unhappen. You can't make all of your bills be paid. You can't make yourself know what school to go to or what degree program to go under. But you can trust that God, who created all things, who's been around way longer than you, knows his plan for you, loves you, and that if you keep your eyes on him, you're not going to drown. Here's the challenge. I want you to screenshot those verses. I used the NLT. I liked the way that it translated those verses. Proverbs 4, 25 through 27. Look them up and make them your lock screen background. And then send me a screenshot of that so that I know that you did your challenge for this week. I am praying for you this week. I hope that you can keep your eyes on Jesus, not your circumstances. Have a blessed week.